Hello everyone, this is Vagatiu, and today I'm giving you a step-by-step guide in how to create a basic factions base. So, to start off with, you'll need a lot of obsidian. You'll need obsidian for the floors and the roof of your area that you choose, and also if you don't have a server where you can gen walls with obsidian, you'll need a lot for the walls as well. So always make sure you take that into consideration when you're deciding how big to make your base. The other thing you'll need is lots and lots of lava buckets, so make sure you've got tons of them in reserve, because you need them pretty much in their hundreds. The other things you need are lots of scaffolding blocks, something like netherrack or dirt, which is easy to make, and some water buckets, because how else are you meant to gen walls? So, start off with is step 1, you got to make a flat area for where your faction's going to be. So, usually you go a square area of chunks, so like a 1x1, 2x2, because that's the most efficient perimeter to area ratio. But me personally, I prefer a 2x1 just because that's simple. You can put one chunk for the farms, one chunk for the random stuff, but it's whatever your preference. So make sure your area where you're going to build is flat, and then simply mark it out. You mark out the corners of where your base is going to be. So I'll make my base here, here, and in these corners here. Once you've flattened your area and marked out your base, you want to go up and start building your frames. So the first thing you do is mark out your corners up here as well. So you usually want to build at about 250. And then the first thing you want to do is build one block out all the way around. Once you've created your framework, your next thing to do is start making the base itself. So to start with, making the walls on the Extreme Craft server where we play, you just right click on the side of the block where you want to place it, and it'll make a wall all the way down until it hits the ground, made purely out of obsidian. On other servers, it'll be you'll place it on top and it'll go down both sides, making two walls. But either way, that's how it's done. If you don't have a server with that sort of plugin, then you'll have to place all the obsidian manually, which is where a lot of your extra obsidian comes into play. Once you've built all your walls, it's time to start making the roof for the base. So to do this is a pretty arduous process. You just have to simply place obsidian all the way along the roof and floor, completely filling it in. Once you've built the base itself, it's time to start working on the framework. So you build an entire row all the way along the inside, one block in from your original scaffolding. Then, once you've done this, you've got to start building rows in every second block around, and you go all the way around the base. Usually you want an odd number of walls, but here I've got an even number. It's just more efficient. For your final edge, you just simply build one extra block outside the framework. Once you've placed in all the scaffolding for your walls on every second block, every second one of these rows, starting from the second one in, you're going to place a lava bucket on every single block. You need to make sure every single one's a source block and place it all the way around until every single block on every second row has lava. When you've placed in all the lava, the next thing to do is start removing all the blocks underneath the lava so it can flow down 3 wide all the way down to the bottom. So to do this, just grab yourself a tool that can preferably insta-mine your scaffolding and mine under every single block. This process can be assisted with the F3 menu, because you can see on the middle right, it'll say looking at, and it'll say like Minecraft, dirt, variant, snowy, whatever. And then when you're checking to see what blocks you haven't broken, you'll see that. But it is absolutely essential that you have every single block removed. The next part of generating walls is placing in all the water buckets. So the water buckets are a bit easier to do because you only need to place them every now and again, and you simply place them and it'll gen stone all the way along where it touches the lava. So yeah, you just need to go all the way around the walls and just make sure every block has at least some water. You'll see where the cobblestone gens. In the corners, there will be some inconsistencies, so you've just got to make sure you place in a few extra buckets there to make sure it gets every single block. Once you've placed in all the water, now you need to dig out all the scaffolding beneath the water to make sure the walls can gen. So you simply do this in the same way you removed all the lava ones, and you have to make sure you get every single block, and the walls will gen all the way down to the bottom. Once you've generated all the walls, the next thing to do is go all the way down to the bottom and mine out all the bottom blocks where the lava and water has just created a lump of blocks that are in the way, and you've got to replace them all with slabs. This means that when people are cannoning you, they have to somehow blow up these slabs before they can start stacking sand to make their cannon blow up your walls. Because water walls, obviously, you need sand or some other block that can allow you to blow them up. Obviously, when you're down here, you're best off with respiration and depth strata so you can move around quickly and so you can breathe, and also make sure you bring something like torches that you can just create a quick, easy air pocket with. Finally, it's time to start watering the roof of the base so people can't just blow in via the top. So remove all the remaining scaffolding on the edges, and then simply start placing water buckets all the way along. So you just go across on a diagonal so that it creates lots of water sources, and then you'll be able to have a wall and a base pretty much completely done. Once you've placed in the final bit of water and you've got a completely watered roof, your base is pretty much done. Now, you can drain the lava and place it with water. Some people do that. That makes it easy to get around in PvP, whatever, particularly if you're not someone who likes to keep fire resistance potions on them. But I don't really mind. You can also just remove the outer scaffolding. But yeah, the bulk of the base is at this point done. So you can now live in it. It's now a bit difficult to raid, and maybe your valuables will be safe for a while. Anyway, this has been a quick tutorial from Vagga2u. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.